Have you ever asked yourself where you could be in 6 months if you truly committed to your goals? Think about this. What if over the next half a year, you dedicated yourself to taking consistent action towards something that matters to you? It doesn't matter if it's improving your health, advancing your career, or making a personal transformation. 6 months is all it takes to start seeing significant results. In this video, I'll walk you through the powerful steps you can take to make the next 6 months the most impactful of your life. You don't need drastic changes overnight. All you need is the right mindset, commitment, and consistency. By the end of this journey, you'll look back and be amazed at the growth and progress you've made. This is your chance to take control of your future. If you're ready to unlock your full potential and make lasting change, stick with me through this video. What we're about to discuss could completely reshape the next 6 months of your life. Number 1, decide where you want to be in 6 months. You know, if you really want to see a change in your life, you've got to start with something simple but powerful. Decide where you want to be in 6 months. I'm not talking about making a vague wish or hoping things get better. I'm talking about sitting down, getting real with yourself, and making a solid decision. Because without that decision, you'll just be drifting. Think about it. If you don't know where you're going, how will you ever get there? It's like getting into a car and just driving without knowing your destination. You might go somewhere, but it won't be where you want to be. The first step to change is always deciding. You need to decide. And when you decide, you're telling yourself and the world around you that you're serious. Look, 6 months might sound like a long time, or it might sound like nothing at all. But 6 months is enough time to make significant progress in any area of your life. If you get clear on what you want, it's all about focus and intention. If you're clear on your goal, the actions you need to take become obvious. When you know where you want to go, every decision and every action you take can be aimed at getting there. So here's a question for you. Where do you want to be 6 months from now? I want you to really think about it. Not just I want to be healthier or I want to make more money, but something specific. What does success look like for you? Is it having a certain amount of savings in your account? Is it dropping those extra pounds and getting into the best shape of your life? Is it building something? Whether it's a business or a new career. Whatever it is, get specific about it. Write it down. Clarity is key. The clearer you are, the more likely it is that you'll hit your target. But here's the thing. Once you've decided, you've got to be willing to sacrifice a little. Success doesn't come without effort. It doesn't come without making some hard choices. Maybe it means waking up earlier. Maybe it means saying no to things that don't serve your goal. Maybe it means cutting out distractions and focusing. If you're not willing to give up something in the short term for a bigger payoff in the future, you're not really serious about it. This is where a lot of people fail. They want the result, but they don't want to do the work. You've got to decide, and then you've got to act. Now I get it. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see results right away. That's something we all struggle with. You work hard for a couple of weeks, you put in the time, and then you step on the scale or check your bank account, and it feels like nothing has changed. Don't let that fool you. The progress you're making is real, even if you can't see it yet. Every step forward, no matter how small, is taking you closer to where you want to be. Consistency is what matters most. Success doesn't happen in one big leap. It's built through consistent actions, day after day. It's about doing the work, even when you don't feel like it. It's about sticking to your plan and staying on course. And I promise you, when you stick to it, when you keep pushing forward, the results will start showing up. But you've got to stay the course. Another thing you've got to understand is this. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Too many people make the mistake of looking at someone else's journey and thinking, I'm not there yet, so I must be doing something wrong. Let me tell you something. Your journey is unique. Your path is yours and yours alone. Focus on your own progress. Keep your eyes on your own road, and don't get distracted by someone else's pace. And when you face setbacks, and you will, because everyone does, don't throw in the towel. Learn from them. Every mistake, every challenge is a lesson. It's not the setback that matters, it's what you do after the setback that matters. Do you keep going? Do you adjust your plan? Do you learn and grow from it? That's where the magic happens. Failures are stepping stones. They're part of the process, not the end of the road. Here's something else. You've got to surround yourself with the right people. The people you hang out with can either lift you up or hold you back. There will always be negative people out there who want to drag you down, tell you it's not possible, or try to convince you to quit. Don't listen to them. Stay away from the naysayers and surround yourself with people who are positive, who are supportive, and who want to see you succeed. The right people will help you stay motivated, keep you focused, and remind you why you're working so hard in the first place. And here's a big one. Don't wait for the perfect time. If you're waiting for the stars to align or for everything to be just right, it's never going to happen. The perfect time is right now. Start where you are with what you've got. There's no better moment to begin than the present. Every day you wait is a day you're not getting closer to where you want to be. So here's the bottom line. Decide where you want to be in 6 months. Get specific, get committed, and then take action. Don't worry if it doesn't happen overnight. Don't get discouraged if the results aren't immediate. What matters is that you keep going. Keep pushing forward, one step at a time. 6 months from now, you'll look back and be amazed at how far you've come. It's all about the decision you make today. Your future is in your hands, and it starts with the decision to take action. Number 2, be willing to sacrifice comfort for growth. Most people want to change their lives, but very few are willing to do what it takes. They want the results, the rewards, the success, but they don't want to give up their comforts, and that's the problem. Growth demands sacrifice. If you want to be better, if you want to reach new heights, you have to be willing to let go of the things that are holding you back, even if they feel comfortable. Think about it. Comfort feels good. It's familiar. It's easy. But it's also the reason most people stay stuck. The life you want is on the other side of change, and change is never comfortable. If you keep doing what's easy, you'll always stay where you are. But if you're willing to step outside that comfort zone, even when it feels scary, even when it's difficult, that's when the real transformation happens. Now, here's something to understand. Sacrifice doesn't mean suffering. It means choosing what matters more, choosing long-term success over short-term pleasure, choosing discipline over distractions, choosing to put in the work now so you can enjoy the rewards later. That's what separates the successful from everyone else. Think about the people who have achieved great things. They didn't get there by staying comfortable. They got there by making tough choices, by giving up what was easy so they could reach for something greater. If you want a better body, you have to sacrifice the junk food and the lazy habits. If you want to build wealth, you have to sacrifice unnecessary spending and short-term pleasures. If you want to grow in your career or business, you have to sacrifice time, effort, and maybe even sleep. There is always a price to pay for success, and you have to decide if you're willing to pay it. And here's what's interesting. The more you push yourself, the more your comfort zone expands. The things that once seemed hard will start to feel normal. Waking up early, staying disciplined, working hard, it becomes a way of life. But the only way to get there is to start. You have to make a choice today. Stay comfortable and remain the same, or sacrifice a little and grow into the person you're meant to be. One of the biggest reasons people fail is because they chase comfort. They don't want to feel discomfort, so they avoid challenges. They avoid risks. They avoid anything that feels difficult. And what happens? Nothing changes. Year after year, they stay in the same place, wondering why success never comes to them. It's because they never made the decision to step up. But here's the truth. Discomfort is temporary, but regret lasts forever. You might feel uncomfortable making sacrifices now, but in 6 months, in a year, you'll thank yourself. You'll look back and realize it was all worth it. But if you don't make the change, if you keep choosing comfort, you'll look back with regret, wishing you had started sooner. So what does this mean for you? It means it's time to make some real changes. It's time to take a hard look at your life and ask yourself, what am I holding on to that's keeping me from growing? Maybe it's bad habits. Maybe it's negative influences. Maybe it's fear. Whatever it is, you have to be willing to let it go. Because the truth is, you can't have both comfort and growth. You have to choose one. Now, don't get me wrong. Sacrifice isn't always easy. It's tough to let go of things you're used to. But here's what you need to remember. Every sacrifice you make today brings you closer to the life you want tomorrow. Every time you push through discomfort, you're building a stronger, better version of yourself. Think about the people who are the most successful in any area of life. What do they all have in common? They were willing to do what others wouldn't. They were willing to put in the hours, to make the hard choices, to stay committed even when it wasn't easy. That's what sets them apart. And that's the decision you have to make. Are you willing to do what others won't? Are you willing to make the sacrifices that most people avoid? Because if you are, 6 months from now, a year from now, your life will look completely different. So here's the challenge. Start making small sacrifices today. If you want to get in shape, skip the unhealthy food. If you want to grow financially, start saving and investing instead of spending. If you want to develop a new skill, sacrifice entertainment and use that time to learn. Every little sacrifice adds up. And the best part, once you start seeing results, it gets easier. You'll realize that the things you thought you needed, the comforts you didn't want to give up, they weren't as important as you thought. Because nothing feels better than progress. Nothing feels better than knowing you're becoming the person you were meant to be. So decide today, are you going to stay comfortable or are you going to grow? The choice is yours. Number 3, keep going even when you don't see results yet. Most people get excited when they start something new. The energy is high, the motivation is strong, and they're ready to take on the world. But then after a few weeks, maybe even a few months, something happens. They look around and don't see the results they were hoping for. The scale hasn't moved. The bank account hasn't grown. The business isn't taking off as fast as they expected. And that's when the doubt starts creeping in. This is the moment that separates those who succeed from those who give up. Because here's the truth. Progress is happening, even if you don't see it yet. Just because the results aren't obvious doesn't mean the work isn't paying off. Every action you take is planting a seed. And just like a seed planted in the ground, you don't see anything right away. You water it, you take care of it, and for weeks, maybe even months, nothing seems to change. But underground, things are happening. The roots are growing, the foundation is being built, and then one day that seed breaks through the soil. That's exactly how success works. Most people quit before they ever see the breakthrough. They think, I've been working hard for weeks, for months, and nothing is happening. So they stop. But what they don't realize is that they were closer than they thought. Success takes time, and most people don't give it enough time. The key is to keep going, even when there's no proof that it's working, because it is working. Every workout, every extra hour you put into your business, every small decision you make, it's all adding up. The problem is, people expect immediate results. They want instant success. But success doesn't work that way. It rewards those who stay in the game long after everyone else has walked away. Think about the people you admire, the ones who have built something great. Do you think they got there overnight? No, they went through seasons of doubt, times when they felt like nothing was working, but they didn't stop. They kept pushing forward, even when it felt pointless. And that's why they made it. There's a story about a man who gave up digging for gold just 3 feet before he struck it. He worked hard, he kept digging, but when he didn't see results fast enough, he quit. Someone else came along, kept digging in the same spot, and just 3 feet later they hit gold. That's how close most people are when they quit. Now think about your own journey. Maybe you're working hard on your fitness, but the scale isn't moving. Maybe you're saving money, but your bank account still looks small. Maybe you're building a business, but customers aren't coming in as fast as you hoped. And maybe you're feeling frustrated. Maybe you're wondering if it's even worth it. But here's the truth. You are closer than you think. If you stop now, you'll never know how close you really were. If you push forward, if you keep going despite the lack of visible results, you will eventually break through. So what do you do in those moments of doubt? You remind yourself why you started. You focus on the process, not just the results. Because if you only focus on results, you'll always be frustrated. But if you focus on the daily effort, if you commit to doing the work no matter what, the results will take care of themselves. The best way to succeed is to develop the habit of showing up every day. No matter how you feel, discipline beats motivation every time. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline keeps you going. And the truth is, most people fail simply because they stop too soon. So how do you keep going? First, stop expecting immediate results. Understand that growth is a long-term process. Second, trust that the work you're doing now will pay off later. Just because you can't see it, doesn't mean it's not happening. And third, stay committed no matter what, even when it feels slow, even when it feels pointless, even when no one is cheering you on. Because the ones who succeed are the ones who keep moving forward, no matter what. Imagine looking back 6 months from now. You'll either be grateful that you kept going, or you'll regret that you gave up. And the difference between those two outcomes. One simple choice: to keep going. Number 4, save a little money every week. Most people have big dreams about financial freedom. They want a better life. They want security. They want to be in control of their future. But here's the mistake. They think they need to make a huge amount of money before they can start saving. They tell themselves, I'll save when I earn more, or I'll start next month. But next month turns into next year. And before they know it, they're still stuck in the same place, struggling with money, wondering why nothing has changed. The truth is, financial success doesn't start with a big paycheck. It starts with a simple habit. Saving just a little money every week can change your life. It's not about the amount, it's about the discipline. If you can't save $5 when you have a little, you won't save $500 when you have more. It's not about income, it's about mindset. Think about it. If you save just $10 a week, that's $40 a month. In a year, that's $520. It doesn't seem like much at first, but over time it adds up. And if you increase that amount little by little, the numbers grow even faster. The problem is, most people don't start because they think small amounts don't matter, but they do. Small decisions, repeated over time, create massive results. Now here's the secret. Saving money is not just about having extra cash. It's about building the habit of control. It's about proving to yourself that you are in charge of your finances, not the other way around. Most people live paycheck to paycheck, not because they don't make enough, but because they don't manage what they have. They spend everything as soon as they get it, and when an emergency comes, they panic. They rely on credit, they borrow, and they dig themselves into a deeper hole. But all of that could be avoided if they just had a small financial cushion. And here's another thing. When you save money, you're not just preparing for emergencies. You're also creating opportunities. You never know when a great investment might come your way, or when you'll need some extra cash to take advantage of a business deal. But if you're always broke, always living on the edge, you miss those chances. Saving money gives you options. It gives you power. So how do you start? First, make it automatic. If you have to think about saving, you'll probably forget or make excuses. But if you set up an automatic transfer, even just a few dollars, it becomes a habit. You don't even have to think about it. Second, cut out unnecessary spending. Most people waste money without realizing it. A coffee here, a snack there, subscriptions they don't use. It all adds up. If you're serious about saving, take a hard look at where your money is going. If something isn't adding value to your life, cut it out and put that money into savings instead. Third, increase your savings over time. Start small, but don't stay small. As you build the habit, challenge yourself. Always you build the habit, challenge yourself. If you're saving $10 a week, see if you can push it to $15, then $20. The goal is to stretch yourself little by little. And most importantly, don't touch your savings unless it's absolutely necessary. Too many people save money, then spend it the first chance they get. Your savings is not for impulse purchases, it's for your future. Now imagine where you'll be 6 months from now. If you start today, you'll have more money in your account. You'll feel more secure. You'll have more confidence in your ability to handle your finances. And in a year, you might have a few $1,000s saved up just from making small, consistent choices. That's the power of saving a little money every week. It's not about how much you start with. It's about the habit you build. And once you have that habit, it will change your financial future forever. Number 5, replace a bad habit with a good one. Most people want to change their lives, but they don't realize that real change starts with small daily habits. You don't wake up one day and suddenly become successful, healthy, or financially free. It happens because of the choices you make every single day. The problem is, most people try to change everything at once. They say, I'm going to stop eating junk food, start saving money, wake up early, read more, and exercise daily. And what happens? They do it for a few days, maybe a week, and then they go right back to their old habits. That's why most people fail. They try to eliminate bad habits without replacing them with good ones. Here's the key. You don't just get rid of a bad habit, you replace it. Because if you just stop doing something, But don't fill that space with something better. Your mind will naturally go back to what's familiar. That's why people quit smoking, but then start eating more. That's why people stop watching TV, but then spend hours scrolling on their phones. The habit doesn't truly disappear. It just changes form. If you don't replace it with something good, it will find its way back into your life. So how do you actually replace a bad habit with a good one? First, you have to be honest with yourself about the habits that are holding you back. Maybe it's spending too much time on social media. Maybe it's unhealthy eating. Maybe it's procrastination. Whatever it is, identify it. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. Most people go through life repeating the same actions without realizing they are sabotaging their own progress. They feel stuck, but they don't take the time to examine what's causing them to stay in the same place. So start by being honest with yourself. Ask, what's one habit that's keeping me from reaching my goals? Next, find a positive habit that can take its place. If you're always reaching for junk food, replace it with a healthy snack. If you waste time on your phone, replace that time with reading or exercising. If you tend to procrastinate, replace that habit with a simple action, just 5 minutes of focused work to get started. The key is to swap, not just stop. Another important step is to make the new habit easier than the old one. Most bad habits exist because they're convenient. Junk food is easy. Scrolling on your phone is easy. Skipping the gym is easy. So if you want to replace a bad habit, you have to make the good habit just as easy, or even easier. If you want to eat healthier, keep healthy snacks within reach. If you want to exercise more, lay out your workout clothes the night before. If you want to read instead of wasting time on your phone, put a book on your nightstand. Make the good habit effortless. Now here's something most people don't realize. Your environment plays a huge role in your habits. If you're trying to quit eating junk food, but your kitchen is filled with chips and soda, you're setting yourself up for failure. If you're trying to stop wasting time on your phone, but you keep it next to your bed at night, you're making it harder on yourself. Your environment should support your goals, not work against them. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to replace bad habits is because they expect perfection. They think, if I mess up once, I've failed. That's the wrong mindset. Changing a habit isn't about being perfect. There will be days when you slip up. That's okay. The goal isn't to never fail. It's to keep going even when you do. Most people mess up once and think, well, I already failed, so I might as well give up. But one bad day doesn't erase all the progress you've made. Think about this. If you accidentally drop your phone, do you pick it up and keep using it? Or do you throw it on the ground and smash it into pieces? Of course you pick it up. So why do people do the opposite with their habits? They make one mistake and then completely give up. That's not how real change works. If you mess up today, get back on track tomorrow. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for next month. Just start again immediately. And here's another thing. Don't try to change everything at once. The reason most people fail is because they take on too much. They try to replace 5 bad habits with 5 good ones overnight. And when they can't keep up, they give up completely. Start small. Focus on one habit at a time. If you're trying to eat healthier, start with just 1 meal a day. If you want to read more, start with just 10 minutes a day. Small changes lead to big results. There's something powerful about momentum. Once you replace one bad habit, it gets easier to replace the next one, and the next. Success is nothing more than a series of small, good habits, repeated over time. You don't see the results right away, but if you stay consistent, they will come. Think about where you'll be 6 months from now. If you start today, if you replace even one bad habit with a good one, imagine how much better your life could be. More energy, more discipline, more progress. And once you master one habit, it gets easier to replace the next one, and the next. So take a look at your life right now. What's one habit that's holding you back? And what's one good habit you can replace it with? Make that change today, and 6 months from now, you won't even recognize yourself. Number 6, be consistent. Success comes from repetition. Most people underestimate the power of consistency. They think success is about big breakthroughs, some magical moment when everything changes. But that's not how it works. Success isn't built in a day. It's built through small actions, repeated over and over again. If you want to be good at something, You don't just do it once, you do it every day. You don't go to the gym once and expect to be in shape. You don't eat one healthy meal and expect to be fit. You don't work hard for a week and expect to be successful. It's not about what you do once in a while. It's about what you do consistently. Think about the people who are successful in any area: business, health, relationships. They aren't necessarily the most talented or the smartest. They're the ones who show up every single day and put in the work. They do it even when they don't feel like it, even when they're tired, even when it's boring, because they know repetition creates mastery. Most people quit too soon. They start something new. They get excited, but the moment they don't see fast results, they give up. They say, "I tried, but it didn't work." No, it didn't work because they didn't stay with it long enough. They did it for a week, maybe a month, and then they stopped. But that's not how success works. Success comes to the people who keep going even when it looks like nothing is happening. Think about a tree. When you plant a seed, do you see a tree the next day? No. For a long time, nothing happens. But if you keep watering it, keep giving it sunlight, one day it starts to grow. And eventually it becomes something strong and powerful. But if you stop taking care of it because you don't see results right away, it never grows. That's exactly how success works. You have to keep going, even when it feels like nothing is happening, even when you don't feel like you're making progress. Because every time you show up and do the work, you're building something. You're getting better. You're developing skills. You're creating habits that will lead to success. The problem is, most people look for shortcuts. They want quick results. They want success without effort. But anything worth having takes time. You can't rush greatness. If you want to build a strong body, you have to work out regularly. If you want to build a strong business, you have to work on it every day. If you want to improve your skills, you have to practice consistently. There's no way around it. And here's the thing, consistency isn't about being perfect. Some days you're going to mess up. Some days you're going to feel tired. Some days you're not going to give 100%. That's okay. What matters is that you keep going. Even on your worst days, do something. Even if it's small, even if it's not perfect. What matters is that you don't stop. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't skip a day just because you're tired. You don't say, "I brushed yesterday, so I'll skip today." No, you do it every day because you know it's necessary. That's the mindset you need for success. It's not about motivation. It's about discipline. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you feel inspired. Some days you don't. But if you only work when you feel like it, you'll never get anywhere. The people who succeed are the ones who work, whether they feel like it or not. They don't wait for motivation. They build habits. So whatever goal you have, commit to it. If you want to be stronger, exercise consistently. If you want to be smarter, read consistently. If you want to be wealthier, save and invest consistently. Small actions, repeated over time, lead to big results. Think about this. Where could you be 6 months from now if you stayed consistent? What could you achieve if you didn't quit? If you just did a little bit every day, no matter what, most people never find out because they give up too soon. Don't be like most people. Keep going. Stay consistent. And one day you'll look back and see how far you've come. Number 7. Stop comparing yourself to others. Focus on your own journey. Too many people waste their time looking at what others are doing. They see someone else's success, and instead of feeling inspired, they feel discouraged. Instead of staying focused on their own goals, they start questioning themselves. Why am I not there yet? Why is their life better than mine? What am I doing wrong? And that kind of thinking will destroy your progress. It will steal your motivation. It will make you doubt yourself. Because the truth is, you and that person are not the same. You didn't start at the same place. You don't have the same background. You don't have the same experiences. You have your own path. And that's the only path that matters. The problem with comparing yourself to others is that you only see their highlight reel. You see their success, their achievements, their best moments, but you don't see what they went through to get there. You don't see the struggles, the failures, the late nights, the sacrifice. You don't see the days they wanted to quit, but didn't. All you see is the result, not the journey. And that's dangerous, because when you compare your struggles to someone else's success, you start believing that you're not good enough. You start thinking you'll never get there. You feel behind, and that feeling makes you want to give up. But you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. Your journey is yours. Your timeline is yours. And as long as you keep moving forward, you're making progress. Even if it's slow, even if it doesn't look like much. Every step forward matters. Success is not a race. There's no deadline. There's no rule that says you have to be successful by a certain age. There's no rule that says you have to achieve something at the same time as someone else. The only thing that matters is that you keep going. Some people take 5 years to succeed. Some take 10. Some take 20. It doesn't matter. What matters is that they never quit. Because if you keep showing up, if you keep working, if you keep improving, success will come. But it will come on your time, not someone else's. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Are you getting better? Are you learning? Are you growing? That's what you should focus on. Not what someone else is doing, but what you are doing to improve. The only real competition is with yourself. Every day your goal should be to do a little better than the day before. Read a little more, work a little harder, learn a new skill, improve your habits. That's how real progress is made. And here's something important. Everyone you admire had to start somewhere. The people you look up to, they weren't always successful. There was a time when they were just like you, trying to figure things out, struggling, making mistakes, but they didn't stop. They kept going. And because they kept going, they got better. And because they got better, they became successful. That's the key. Stay focused on your own journey. Trust your own process. Success doesn't happen overnight, but every day you put in the effort, you're moving closer. Your only job is to keep going. So stop looking around. Stop worrying about what others are doing. Stop comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. Just focus on your path, and one day you'll be the one others look up to. Number 8. Learn from every mistake and keep moving forward. Mistakes happen. They happen to everyone. No one walks through life without slipping up. No one builds success without facing setbacks. But here's the question. Do you let your mistakes stop you, or do you learn from them and keep moving forward? That's what separates those who grow from those who stay stuck. Most people fear making mistakes. They think failure means they're not good enough. They start doubting themselves. They take one wrong step and suddenly feel like giving up. They assume that if something doesn't go perfectly, it means they're on the wrong path. But that's not how success works. The truth is, failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every mistake you make teaches you something. Every time you fail, you gain experience. And that experience is what helps you improve. Think about when you were a kid learning how to ride a bike. You didn't just hop on and start riding smoothly. You fell. Maybe you scraped your knee. Maybe you got frustrated, but you got back up. You tried again. And each time you fell, you learned, you adjusted. Until one day you were riding without even thinking about it. That's how growth happens in every area of life. The only way to get better at something is by doing it again and again, even when you fail. The real problem isn't making mistakes. The real problem is being afraid of making them. When people let fear control them, they stop trying. They avoid risks. They stay where it's comfortable. But comfort doesn't lead to growth. If you never make mistakes, it means you're not pushing yourself hard enough. It means you're staying in the same place. And nothing great ever happens by staying in the same place. Some of the most successful people in the world have failed more times than most people have even tried. The difference is they never let their failures define them. They didn't see mistakes as a sign to quit. They saw them as lessons. They studied what went wrong. They adjusted. And they moved forward. That's the mindset that creates success. Too many people get stuck in regret. They replay their mistakes over and over in their heads, wishing they could go back and fix them. But thinking about the past won't change it. What's done is done. You can't go back, but you can move forward. The question is, what are you going to do with the lessons you've learned? Will you let your mistakes hold you back, or will you use them to become better, smarter, and stronger? The only way to truly fail is to quit. As long as you keep going, as long as you keep learning, you will keep improving. Every mistake you make is an opportunity to grow. Every setback is a chance to come back stronger. If something doesn't work, figure out why. If you make a bad decision, understand what went wrong. If you fail, ask yourself, what can I do better next time? That's how you move forward. Success isn't about getting everything right the first time. It's about refusing to stay down when you get it wrong. It's about learning, adjusting, and trying again. The people who succeed in life aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who fail over and over, but they never stop. They take every mistake, every setback, every loss, and they use it as fuel to keep going. They don't dwell on the past. They don't sit around feeling sorry for themselves. They take the lesson and move forward. Imagine where you could be a year from now if you stopped letting mistakes hold you back. Imagine how much you could grow if you saw failure as a lesson instead of a reason to quit. The truth is, you don't have to be perfect to succeed. You just have to be willing to learn. You just have to be willing to keep going. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to fail. Just learn, adjust, and keep moving forward. Because as long as you keep going, failure will never be the end of your story. Number 9, stay away from negative people who slow you down. There's a powerful truth in life that we sometimes overlook. The people you surround yourself with have a direct impact on your success. And that's not just about the people who support you and lift you up. It's about the ones who drain your energy, the ones who always find the negative side of things, the ones who never believe in anything bigger than where they are right now. You see, it's not just about what you do, it's also about who you let into your life. Let's be real for a moment. If you're constantly around people who complain, criticize, and focus on what's wrong in the world, you'll start to think the same way. If you spend your time with people who tell you your dreams are impossible, who don't believe in their own potential, who constantly focus on the problems instead of the solutions, it won't take long before you start questioning your own path. You have to understand that negative energy is contagious. It's easy to get caught up in the negativity around you. If you're surrounded by people who drag you down, who don't support your goals, or who keep bringing you into their world of complaining, you'll begin to feel like you're stuck too. You'll start to believe that the world is against you, just like they believe the world is against them. And before you know it, you're not making progress anymore. You're just spinning your wheels, caught in a cycle of negativity. Now, this doesn't mean you should stop caring about people or cut everyone off who doesn't think the way you do. That's not the point. The point is, you need to protect your energy. You need to make sure that the people you choose to spend the most time with are people who inspire you, people who make you think bigger, people who are going after something. Because you'll be much more likely to reach your goals when you're around people who push you forward. Think about the people who truly inspire you. The ones who are positive, focused, and determined. The ones who encourage you to keep going when things get tough. The ones who have a vision for their own lives and are willing to take action to make it happen. When you're around those kinds of people, your mind starts to shift. You start thinking, if they can do it, so can I. And that's the kind of environment you need to be in if you want to achieve big things. When you surround yourself with negativity, you're not only wasting your time, you're wasting your potential. The more you listen to people who tell you that something can't be done, the more you start to believe it yourself. You hear it so many times, you start to accept it as fact. You begin to doubt your dreams. You start telling yourself, maybe they're right, maybe this isn't going to work. But let me tell you something, no one can predict your future except you. Every time you allow negative people to affect your mindset, you're giving up your power. You're letting them decide what you can or can't achieve. And when you do that, you're giving them control over your life. Now let's be clear, this isn't about avoiding people who are having a rough time, or people who need your support. Life happens. People go through tough times. And sometimes they need someone to listen to them. But there's a difference between supporting someone through a tough time and getting caught up in their negativity. Supporting someone is about being there when they need a hand. Getting caught up in their negativity is about letting it drain you and hold you back. It's important to be around people who challenge you, not bring you down. People who help you see the possibilities, not the problems. People who believe in growth, progress, and success. Because when you're surrounded by that kind of energy, you start to adopt the same mindset. You start thinking bigger. You start believing that your dreams are possible. And you start taking the actions necessary to make them a reality. Sometimes it means making tough decisions. It might mean distancing yourself from people who have a negative impact on your life. It might mean limiting the time you spend with certain people who always focus on what's wrong instead of what's right. It doesn't mean you don't care about them. It just means that you care more about your own growth, your own dreams, and your own success. Your time is too valuable to spend it with people who don't lift you up. If someone constantly brings you down, who criticizes your dreams, who always finds the negative side of things, then it's time to step back. It's time to protect your energy and your focus. Because the more you allow negative people into your space, the more it affects your mindset, your actions, and your ability to move forward. You've got to surround yourself with people who encourage you to keep going, who see your potential, and who push you to become the best version of yourself. People who celebrate your wins, no matter how small, and who help you stay on track when the road gets tough. Because when you have people like that around you, success becomes inevitable. You'll be surrounded by positivity, encouragement, and the belief that anything is possible. So take a look at the people in your life. Are they helping you get closer to your goals? Are they supporting you in your journey? Or are they draining your energy, slowing you down and holding you back? Be honest with yourself. The people you keep close to you will either propel you forward or hold you back. And if you want to go far, you need to choose carefully who you let in. Don't let negativity take root in your life. Don't let anyone's doubts or fears influence your decisions. Focus on your own journey. Surround yourself with people who encourage, uplift, and inspire you to be your best. Your future is in your hands, and the people around you should be helping you move forward, not keeping you stuck in a place of negativity. When you cut out the negativity, you make room for the success and positivity that you deserve. And that's when things start to change. When you're surrounded by the right people, anything is possible. Number 10. Look back after 6 months. See the difference 6 months ago? You made a decision. You made a choice to commit, to show up, and to give yourself a chance to change. And now as you stand at the halfway point of your journey, it's time to pause, reflect, and look back. Take a moment to see how far you've come. You see, when you start something new, it's easy to get caught up in the grind. You're focused on the work, the effort, the hustle. You don't always notice the small wins along the way because you're so focused on the bigger goal. But after 6 months, when you take a step back, you'll see something incredible: progress. It's important to take that moment to look back, to recognize how much you've grown. The person you were when you started and the person you are now are two different people. And when you realize that, it will give you the motivation to keep going. You will see that the effort you put in every day, even when it didn't seem like much, has added up. Every small step, every choice, every action has brought you closer to your goals. And when you see that, it will change your perspective on the journey ahead. You might not notice the change day by day, but over the course of 6 months, it adds up. It's like planting a seed. You don't see the growth immediately, but if you're consistent and patient, that seed starts to sprout. And before you know it, you've got something you can be proud of. Take a minute and think about where you were 6 months ago. What did you want to achieve? What were your goals? And how did you feel at the time? You might have felt uncertain, unsure of what the future held, maybe even a little overwhelmed by the journey ahead. But now, after all that hard work, after showing up day after day, you have made progress. You have become someone who is capable of achieving the things you once only dreamed of. The truth is, most people give up too soon. They don't give themselves enough time to see the change. They want results right away. But the most successful people know that progress takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of consistent action over time. It's about showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. It's about putting in the work when no one is watching. It's about staying focused, no matter how small the steps may seem. When you look back after 6 months, you'll see that all of that effort, all of those small actions, have made a huge difference. You'll see that you've moved forward. You've learned things about yourself, about your strengths, about your resilience. You've gained confidence in your ability to overcome obstacles, to keep going even when things get tough. It's important to celebrate that progress, no matter how small it may seem, because every step forward is a step closer to your dreams. Don't downplay the work you've done. Don't minimize the progress you've made. You've earned every bit of growth, every bit of success. And when you look back after 6 months, you'll realize that all those little choices you made, all those sacrifices you made, have led to something powerful. But don't stop here. This is just the beginning. Looking back is important, but it's even more important to keep moving forward. When you look back after 6 months and see how far you've come, use that as fuel for the next phase of your journey. Don't get complacent. Don't get comfortable. Keep pushing, keep growing, and keep reaching for more. Because the best is yet to come. The road ahead might still have its challenges. You might face obstacles. You might experience setbacks. But now you know you have what it takes to overcome them. You've already done it. You've proven to yourself that you can show up, you can keep going, and you can achieve what you set out to do. And that's powerful. So take a moment to reflect on your journey. Look back after 6 months and see the difference. See the progress. See the growth. See the person you've become. And when you do, remember this: you have the power to keep going, to keep moving forward, and to make the next 6 months even better than the last. Your journey is far from over. In fact, it's only just begun. Keep going, keep growing, and when you look back again, you'll be amazed at how much further you've come. Here's a quote I want you to remember: "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." Now, as we come to the end of this video, I want you to take a deep breath and think about what the next 6 months could look like for you. It's not about making huge changes overnight. It's about showing up every single day and doing the work, no matter how small it seems. The next 6 months can be a game changer for you. If you stick to your goals, stay consistent, and keep learning from your progress, you'll be amazed at how much you've grown. So take action today. Start small, stay committed, and keep moving forward. The best part, you're in control of your future, and 6 months from now you'll look back and see how far you've come. Thank you for watching. Let's make the next 6 months your time to shine.